Hey cooks, we are bidding farewell to April 2025 and our journey through The Bread Baker's Apprentice by Peter Reinhart. This has been one of the more challenging months for me. We're going to talk about what I experienced using this book, and we're going to welcome in our Cookbook Club cookbook for May 2025. So welcome to the Amy Learns to Cook kitchen. So for those who joined me on this journey this last month, we've went through
a learning
experience and a lot of heartache, right? And it didn't help that, like, in the middle of the month, we took a 2-week-long vacation. So we are getting this video up a little late. We should have had it up the week before, but we've been just recovering from that and allergies and catching up with work and everything else that's going on in our lives, right? I always thought of myself as sort of just a basic beginning bread baker. I can do basic things, like I can make white bread, I can make rolls, I can make hoagies, I can make wheat bread, even out of fresh milled flour. We've done that. I can bake pizza with fresh made crust, cinnamon rolls, all kinds of stuff. And when I pulled out The Bread Baker's Apprentice from Peter Reinhart, I knew this was going to be quite a journey for me, because this book has a lot of complex recipes, right? There's a lot of pre-ferments, there's sourdough. This is taking you to a whole nother level in your bread baking. And I was so excited when I jumped on the bandwagon of this book, and I'm still equally as excited at the end of the month. I can tell you, after doing those 4 recipes, that I learned a lot, that my bread baking has really changed. I learned the stretch and fold method, and I also at times felt completely and totally defeated, to the point where I was literally crying, right? And I still am. And I think it's a process you have to go through. Don't think of that as, that this is a bad book. This is an amazing book. This is an absolutely 100% buy for your cookbook library. Not only as a book to leave on the shelf, right? A lot of times you buy a book because you think you have to have it, and it just ends up sitting on your shelf. This book is a way to begin your learning process. Well, to take your basic bread knowledge and start bringing it to another level. It is painful. It was painful for me. It socked me down and wore me out and threw me in the gutter and literally stepped on me and flattened me, right? But anytime you're going through the learning process, the first time you do it, it's big, it's hard, it's complicated, it's scary, right? But now that I've been through 3 recipes, we did 4 recipes. We did 3 pre-ferments, which I was used to doing pre-ferments. I read his brother Juniper's book. I've been doing overnight ferments all the time, but usually it was just the entire batch, right? I wasn't doing different kinds of pre-ferments. We did 3 pre-ferments in here. We did an Italian bread with a biga. We did a French bread with a pâte fermentée, and we did ciabatta with a really high hydrated Polish, right? Then we wrapped it up with some focaccia, which didn't require a pre-ferment, but it was complicated process, which I got some amazing results, right? What happened to me wasn't the book. What happened to me was the cook, was the baker. If you even can call me that, right? I can tell you, you might crack open this book and you might bang it out and get bangers left and right? But you may struggle like I did. And the only thing I can say is don't give up. Get right back behind that mixer and make another loaf. And if that one sucks, make another one. And if that one sucks, make another one, right? People make bread that look like this. They've made hundreds and hundreds of loaves. So give yourself that grace and give yourself that learning process and start with this book and you will get there. We will both get there, right? So don't give up. This book is a buy. 100% a buy. Get this book in your library and start learning. Peter Reinhart's Bread Baker's Apprentice. This book taught me a lot. So the question is, what did I finally pick for the Cookbook Club for May?
The Charlie Brown cookbook, maybe?
That could be a possibility.
We need that. We need that.
I need that in my life right now. Because a lot of people told me they wanted to see some Instant Pots. They wanted to see an Instant Pot cookbook. I have one. I went through it. And the recipes are so basic that I've done a lot of the recipes that were, some just didn't look good. Some were really basic, and I've done a lot of those recipes. So I'm going to dig for an Instant Pot book, and we are going to do that. But this month, I'm reserving it for someone that I've been following for years. So after coming off of several months that has really challenged me in ways that I never thought could, coming off of Julia Child's Mastering the Art of French Cooking, coming off the Martha Stewart Living Cookbook, coming off Escoffier, coming off of the Bread Baker's Apprentice, I wanted to kind of slow things down a bit because I need to give myself a little bit of time to go back through some of these, bake some more from this, and I wanted some stuff a little more foundational and a little less challenging, right?
A Family Farmer was nice.
Family Farmer was nice. Lots of good American-style recipes. That's why I stuck with it for 2 months, because we had come off of Escoffier, right? And I didn't know if I could keep going after that. So I looked at a few things out there. There's some other things that I wanted to, one other book that I almost picked, but we'll come back to that one. I wanted to come back to somebody that I have been following for years and years and years, way back to his, America's Test Kitchen days. A lot of the things that you see in America's Test Kitchen, some of them actually came from this chef. And he moved on from there and moved to Serious Eats. And I think it was maybe over some of the pandemic and stuff, he started writing these books, and they're amazing. And I wanted to pick up this book because it has a lot of fundamental techniques. And I think this book is one of the best cookbooks in my library. And I wanted to dig through it for the month of May, get down to some fundamentals and do some learning yet again, right? So who did I pick for May 2025? Dang! We're going to be cooking out of the Food Lab.
Yay!
Yay, right? I picked Kenji Lopez-Alt's The Food Lab. This book is amazing. This book is a fundamental. If you're building your cooking library, this should be in it, right? The Food Lab takes a scientific approach. Kenji has sort of a background in like biology. I think he started going to school for biology or something and changed his major. But
his whole family is scientists.
Yeah, his whole family are scientists. He is a writer for Serious Eats. Now he owns a restaurant and he writes books. He's wrote this one. He wrote one on the walk. This book is grounded in science and you will learn an absolute lot. And look at this thing. This thing is huge. So that's why I chose the Food Lab. We're going to have a lot of fun in this book because it is amazing. One thing that's interesting in that is all the photography in this book, I believe he just took it with his own camera. So you will see there's a lot of pictures and a lot of step-by-step pictures, but you will see these are not fancy Instagram food photography. These pictures, you know, these are right out of his home kitchen, taken by him. This book goes through everything. It goes through meats, it goes through veggies, it goes through soups, making stocks, sauces, all the fundamentals. We're going to have a lot of fun with this book. I can't wait. I actually have 2 copies of this book. The Food Lab, Kenji Lopez-alt, Better Home Cooking Through Science. This is our book for May. Cookbook Club, join me. The journey continues.